Power in weakness. Dear friends, once a man was walking along the road. As he was walking, he encountered God. God spoke to him, "Help me, I am wounded." God was lying, bleeding on the ground. The man but could not accept an wounded God. He said, "You are not my God. My God is supposed to be almighty, all-powerful." But God pleaded, "I am in pain. I am at your mercy. Please help me." These words were so annoying to the man and troublesome that he got rid of God right away by killing him. God is often presented as all-powerful and almighty, a God who is suffering, who is rejected, is beyond human reckoning. Jesus ushers in a spiritual and cultural revolution by his coming. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 10, Jesus presents the one who serves as the greatest. Jesus often declared that he came to serve and not to be served. Godliness is manifested in being a servant of all, a slave of all. He sees power in serving than in being served. The one who wishes to be the greatest must be the servant of all. When you are invited to a banquet, occupy the lowest place. Jesus washes the feet of his disciples, opening the doors to a leadership which is service-oriented. Jesus condemns the attitude of leaders who lord it over others, suppress others, and place heavy burdens on them. Jesus experienced power in weakness. The disciples understood this teaching very, very slowly. They often discussed among themselves who is the greatest among them. Very often, Jesus challenges these attitudes of the disciples. In the world, people live like this. But he tells them, "It shall not be so with you. It shall not so be with you." I'm reminded of the parable of the treasure hidden in the field. For many, the ground was not of much value, but one discovered rich treasure in it. For many, the poor and abandoned are worthless, but for the eyes of the enlightened, they are able to see a treasure in them. Power in weakness. Misery, suffering, etc. are not from God. And it is not God's will that we look for it for its own sake. Jesus enjoyed banquets and he himself had savings for his group, but he was not enslaved by it. And his preferential option was always for the poor. Francis of Assisi threw away his regal title and attire for a greater treasure, attracted by the power hidden in weakness. And what about our personal weaknesses and sins? St. Paul, struggling with his personal weakness, asked God to deliver him. But the Lord answered, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Paul discovers the great mystery of power in weakness. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10, Paul says, "For Christ's sake I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. The martyrs shook the powers of darkness with the irresistible power of weakness, says the famous author John Milton. May the Lord open our eyes to see the power of grace flowing in and through our weaknesses and sins. May we learn the grace-filled art of boasting about our weaknesses. May the Lord give us that wisdom to see the power hidden in spiritual and material weakness around us and open our hearts to love them genuinely. May God bless you all.